Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. Today is a pivotal moment, not just for the State Attorney's Office, but for this entire community that I have the privilege of serving once again. 18 months ago, I stood on these very steps after being unjustly removed from office that you elected me to. I told you then that I didn't intend to give up. And as a result of you standing with me over these last 18 months, today I am honored to return to the seat of the people's state attorney.
Yes.
The last 4 years have been challenging at best. I faced obstacles that appeared to be insurmountable. The political attacks against me were relentless and vicious. The media was weaponized against me, pushing the false narrative of my incompetence, reporting on policies that didn't exist, focusing on crime committed by individuals with criminal histories that predated my time in office, creating the false impression that people could be prosecuted without sufficient evidence, or that the state attorney alone is responsible for case outcomes. There were people who I was sure I could depend on, who disappeared when their presence mattered the most, and others who switched teams in the middle of the season. The campaign proved to be equally treacherous as my former political rivals joined forces with the new ones to slander my name, discredit my character, and destroy my reputation and the reputation of those associated with me. These attacks continue to this day. But harder than any of that was the sudden death of my father. Those who know me know that I'm a daddy's girl and that he was every bit of a girl dad. He was a pillar in my life, the fabric of my very being, much of the reason I am who I am today. We had an extremely close relationship and his loss was devastating for me. After everything I've been through, standing before you as your duly re-elected state attorney reminds us of why we fight for the things that matter. Our justice system is the cornerstone of our democracy, charged with the immense duty of safeguarding the rule of law and protecting the rights of every individual. But as we celebrate progress, we must also acknowledge a truth that is often uncomfortable, yet necessary. Our nation's justice system has not always been just. For centuries, discriminatory practices were embedded within its framework, from laws that perpetuated gender and racial inequality, to sentencing practices that disproportionately impacted communities of color. Our history reveals painful truths about the gap between justice in principle and justice in practice. But history also tells the story of those who refuse to accept injustice as the status quo. Brave men and women, both within and outside the system, have fought tirelessly to expose inequities and demand reform. From the civil rights pioneers who risked their lives to dismantle segregation, to advocates who pushed for sentencing reforms and restorative justice, I stand on the shoulders of giants who turned their vision for a fairer system into reality. Their courage challenges us to look inward and ask ourselves, are we doing enough? Are we building a system that values rehabilitation over retribution? one that protects the vulnerable and restores dignity to those who have erred? Are we truly delivering on the promise of equal justice under the law? On November 5th, 2024, our community spoke with clarity and conviction. More than 414,000 voices came together to declare that justice must be fair, smart, and rooted in integrity, free from any political agendas. Today is about more than reclaiming a position. It is about reclaiming our democracy. It's about honoring the will of the people and restoring faith in the systems meant to serve us all. Democracy is not passive. It requires engagement, accountability, and courage. And on November 5th, this community proved that our collective voice is stronger than any obstacle. This moment represents more than a return. It represents a renewal of trust, of commitment, and the promise that justice is not simply about punishment, but about prevention, rehabilitation, and creating opportunities for positive change. Being entrusted by you, the people of Orange and Osceola counties, to lead this office is a responsibility I carry with great pride and deep gratitude. Today we stand united, not just to rebuild, but to move forward boldly, with purpose and with clarity. This is our moment to remind ourselves that democracy is not just about elections, it's about the power of people to shape the world that they live in. As prosecutors, we are guided by clear principles. Our duty is to seek justice within the bounds of the law, to protect the vulnerable, to act with fairness and integrity, and to exercise sound discretion in every decision we make. Our duty is not merely to convict, but to serve the public interest, to protect the innocent, convict the guilty, and respect the constitutional rights of all individuals. The mission I have set forth for this state attorney's office is clear: to promote public safety, hold offenders accountable, advocate for victims, and address the root causes of crime to build stronger, safer communities. Justice, fairness, and accountability cannot just be words. They are the heart of what we do in this office. And we must ensure every decision we make is for the greater good. We are charged with making sure that public safety is not just a slogan, but a reality that we feel every day. It is about holding people accountable for their actions and advocating for victims who have been harmed. It's also about breaking down the barriers that perpetuate crime and building stronger, safer communities where everyone has a chance to succeed. But it is also about trust and hope. We have to address the flaws in our criminal legal system to ensure it is equitable and delivers on its promise of justice, not as a privilege for some, but as a right for all. Under my leadership, we will bring that balance back. We will be firm when we need to be, ensuring that those who cause harm are held accountable and removed from our streets. But we will also be compassionate. We will focus on the bigger picture, knowing that true public safety is not just about punishment, but it's also about prevention rehabilitation, and giving people the tools they need to turn their lives around. This is not an either-or situation. We need both accountability and opportunity to build the safer community we all deserve.